Coach Harold Keith Stevens, Sr. Coach Stevens coached for 39 years, beginning in 1976 at Oak Park High School. He also coached at Southfield, Pontiac Northern, Waterford Mott, Dearborn Heights Robichaud, and Southfield Lathrop. He experienced conference championships, the state playoffs, and was an East All-Star Game coach in 1996. He was named the MHSFCA Regional Coach of the Year in '98 and 2012, and Coach of the Year in 2012 by the MHSFCA and the Associated Press. He received the Dave Tate Outstanding Service Award by the Oak Park Boosters, the USMC Semper Fi Award, the NIAAA Ruston Foundation National Coach Award, the Comedic Youth Foundation Award, and most recently, 2015, the Midwest College Football Expo named the Academic Award the Keith Stevens Academic Award of Excellence for athletes having a 3.5 or better GPA and a 25 or better score on the ACT. Coach Stevens was the association's president in 2013. Coach Stevens passed away February 6, 2015. Coach Stevens' biggest thrill in coaching. These words he wrote before he passed away. Being able to coach all three of my sons at the high school level. Coach Stevens' most humorous incident in coaching. My team had just beaten Royal Oak Kimball in overtime, and I fell in the mud. Coach Stevens' comments on why coach. I started coaching when I was 18 and had a lot of great mentors along the way. I always felt you should give back. Football has been good to me and has allowed me to grow as a person. That's why I coach. I love to teach. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the Hall of Fame, Coach Harold Keith Stevens, accepting on behalf of Coach Stevens and his family, his good friend, 2014 inductee Drake Wilkins, and his son, Harold Stevens.
Yes, before I start, I'd like to ask for all Keith's friends and families and representatives to stand real quick. And his lovely wife, Donna, is back there in the back, that I've grown to love in the last 10 years from traveling with Keith. Both Keith and I were regional directors along with Eric Smith and Andre Holland. So most of the time we would team up together, jump in a ride together to go to Grand Rapids, Clare, or wherever the association meetings were, okay? 3 years ago, I think 3 years ago, Keith became president, okay, which was a joyous time for us. But it was also an extremely difficult time because now Keith was depressed, okay, which means that we had to cater to Keith. So I remember pulling up at the house one day and I said, well, Keith, you know what? I'm a little low on gas. He said, bro, don't worry about it, man. He said, you're not going to drive. I said, okay, cool. He said, park your car in front of the house. So I parked in the house. He pulled out his Yukon. He said, no, you're not going to drive your car, but you're going to drive mine. I'm the president. So we driving down the freeway. So we catered to him for the whole weekend. Mr. Prayers, is there anything we can do for you? You know, he got a big deal out of it. But if you know Keith, Keith was the most loving guy that you ever want to be. Okay, and if you had the opportunity to attend his funeral last month, it was a total picture and indication of what type of guy he was, because all his former players and a lot of the coaches that he coached with, all of them were there to represent, okay? And it was just obvious as to how many people he had touched. And what became even more obvious to me, and there's a couple of his former assistants sitting over here too, people don't realize the amount of adults that coaches touch, okay? It's obvious that coaches reach the kids, okay? But coaches also coach their coaches, okay? So not only are you responsible for kids' lives, but you're responsible for other adults as well, okay? And that's extremely big. The last thing I like to say, because I listened to one of the other speakers speak a little earlier, and they spoke of the young man that made the game-winning play call one night, Friday night, and then passed away the next day, okay? I know Harbaugh was kind of making kind of like a little joke of when he was saying a lot of times people don't more or less appreciate you, or people don't say it or whatever. Well, as a coach, you don't know it until you attend your funeral. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, you know what? He has a point, okay? So that leads me to say that tonight is a golden opportunity for all the people that you representing, okay? Tonight, tell them, Coach, I love you. Daddy, I love you. Husband, I love you. Tomorrow is not promised, okay? And I know how much Keith meant to all of us, and I'm gonna step out of the way and let his son and his other children speak on his behalf, okay? But all these people that mean so much to you, that do so much for you, don't let it be an occasion where they leave here and they never were given the opportunity from you to just say, thank you, and I love you.
There's a lot of y'all here. I was kind of nervous coming up here talking about that on behalf. It's kind of a bittersweet moment for me because I played for him. I'm here today, and I know this is probably the most prestigious award that he can ever get today. If he would just held on a little bit longer, he would have seen all you guys, and he would have been pretty happy and joyous today. I had a little story I was gonna share to y'all. It's because it makes it sound like a little negative a little bit, but from my dad, but it changed my career playing football. I remember I played Keller. It was Keller High School, and we called a little waggle pass, and I came across the middle, and it seemed like a little cornerback, a little corner guy. Oh man, I'm about to shine on him. I'm about to make a one-hand catch on him. I'm about to blow up the crowd, right? And my dad said, don't be playing around, Earl, handle up, play ball. And I didn't listen to him. And I jumped up in there and I tried it, and the quarterback's made a great play on me, great play, and just knocked the ball out the hand. And I said, oh my God, my dad gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me. So I went back to the huddle, and I said, Byron, to my coach, Byron, I said, is he staring at me? He looked over, he said, oh yeah, he's staring at you. I said, what we gonna do? He said, everybody take a step to the right, except for Earl. And everybody stepped to the right. No, they called timeout, and he got in my face, but that play on, it tightened me up, and I earned a scholarship, and I thank him for that. Thank you.